A Los Angeles councilman, Thomas Bradley, who was a Negro, finished first in yesterday's election for mayor, but he did not receive a majority, so he will compete in a runoff with the number 2 candidate, the man who is now the mayor, Sam Yorty. Bradley got 42% of the vote, Yorty 26%. And both Yorty and Bradley now foresee the possibility of a rough campaign before the election on the 27th of May.
Well, it's possible because Bradley made a very racist appeal in the Negro area that they should vote for him because he's black, and that appears to have worked to a certain extent. Then he also got the left-wing Democrats, so he put together sort of a block here, and I would say that about all the votes he's going to get, he will get in the primary. I don't think he can add anything to it in the finals.
The mayor has had a pattern of running a smear campaign rather than dealing with the issues. He's done this in the past, and his statements last night and early this morning clearly indicate that that's the attack he will take again.
And what's the best attack against a campaign like this?
I propose to ignore it. I believe that we ought to run a high-level campaign for the people of this city where we deal with the issues. We have enormous problems facing us, and to talk about gutter politics at a time like this, I think is inappropriate.
The racial situation in Gary under Mayor Hatcher's administration has been injected into the Los Angeles mayoralty campaign, where a Negro is making a strong bid in the runoff a week from tomorrow. A film report now by Terry Drinkwater.
Hi, fellas. How are you? What are you going to do? Attaboy.
This campaign between Mayor Sam Yorty and Councilman Tom Bradley is heating up and fast. At the start, they were appearing together at events like the American Legion Parade. But the campaign has become so bitter that Bradley has refused to appear on the same platform with Yorty anymore. Yorty, behind in the polls and fighting for his political life, has pulled out all of the stops.
Militants are being very quiet right now. And they're kind of laying back and waiting. They don't want to jeopardize Mr. Bradley's chances.
There is just one issue in this election, race. Yorty is clearly appealing to whites who remember Watts and who fear more black violence. Would Yorty be better at keeping law and order or Bradley? A white mayor or a black mayor?
In the city of Gary, Indiana, where they have a Negro mayor who came out here campaigning for Mr. Bradley, that they had a session of the city council in which the councilmen were intimidated. They wanted to have a little more power of appointment of human relations commissioners, I believe it was, and the gangs came in and threatened the councilman to the extent that one of them wanted police protection, another said he wasn't psychologically prepared to vote. He was so frightened and upset. You can imagine what would happen here if we had a group of militants descend on our council supporting something of Mr. Bradley if he should be elected.
The mayor has, as I told you already, has sought to divide us and to appeal to the worst element in men, sought to stir up the fears and the hatred, the suspicions and the doubts. He's tried to smear, he's tried to bring us down to the gutter. I must tell you now, tonight, I will not follow him there.
Bradley has the support of nearly all of those who opposed him in the primary, including the most influential Republican. He has party organization and the Los Angeles Times behind him. High-ranking Democrats from outside California have come to help. Senator Edward Kennedy is enthusiastic. Yorty, who is also a Democrat, has been bitter ever since the primary when he finished a very poor second.
What is the purpose of people from outside coming here and trying to tell us how to vote and money-raising affairs all over the nation to try and elect a mayor for the city of Los Angeles? Well, I'll tell you, my theory is that they wouldn't be so anxious to elect that particular person if they had to live under him if he were elected. They're safe.
I've decided to run for this office because I was concerned about the direction that we were taking, about the failure to provide programs, the failure to provide leadership, the failure to understand or even to suggest means of dealing with our problems. We cannot tolerate that sense of direction, that sense of drift. It's been bad enough in the past, but Los Angeles cannot any longer survive that kind of leadership.
Despite the polls, Sam Yorty cannot be counted out. He has made more successful political comebacks than most politicians have ever even tried. Yet a mistake by Bradley, or racial unrest in the city, could make Yorty the front runner. But Bradley is cool, and right now he is confident that on May 27th he will be elected mayor of Los Angeles, a black mayor. Terry Drinkwater, CBS News, Los Angeles.